guys, Cross here with the lovely Domenica. We are going to be doing another Nerd Girls Talk. Why did my nose itch?
Just us today.
Due to a personal situation, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm not here just on a friendly visit, because of everything that's been going on.
Shit happened.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing another Nerd Girl Talk, and this one is going to be con horror stories. Or just
con
stories in general.
In generals? In generals.
In generals.
Because I have one horror story.
Would you like to begin?
Sure, I can tell you about my lovely experience. So this was the first time, not my first Anime North, but I think it was my second. It was my first time staying at a hotel. Are you finished? So it was my first time staying at a hotel. And I'd become good friend, pretty decent friends with, someone I had met, the year previous or whatever. So I'm staying at their hotel. The hotel name really doesn't matter, so whatever. But a couple things ended up happening. My actual con experience was fine, but it's the stuff that happened to the hotel. So the first thing that happened was I was staying with my one friend, her boyfriend, and two other people, and one other guy, I think, or something like that. But the first thing that happened, it was, we had just gotten back from, it was, the end of the day on, the Friday or something. And I'm trying to go to sleep, okay, so let me back up a bit. So I'd got there the Thursday, right? And I had set up my spot right near the bedside table on my bed. And our fourth member didn't get there till that Friday. Mm-hmm. So I'd already set up all my stuff. He goes and steals my spot. He just literally moves my shit and I had to sleep on the opposite side of the bed. Mm-hmm. When I had already set up all my stuff. Mm-hmm. So that pissed me off a little bit. And then it was the next day or the next night or something. And I was tired from the day. Mm-hmm. So I'm curled up in the bed. I got my spot back, thankfully. I was like, bitch, this is my spot. Mm-hmm. So I got my spot back. And I'm curled up under the blanket and I'm just trying to lie down. I get that the others weren't tired yet and it was only 10 o'clock or something. Mm-hmm. So they weren't sleeping yet. But what made me snap after a few things was that I'm curled up in my blanket trying to close my eyes and just rest. And the same guy who had stolen my side of the bed went and yanked the blanket off of me. He legit just tried pulling the comforter off of me, and I snapped. I was I literally sat up out of the bed, yelled at him, and said, "Could you fucking not? I'm trying to sleep." And he's like, "Oh, I didn't know." And I'm like, "What the fuck? I'm laying on the bed trying to sleep with the blanket on me. What?
What else would you be doing?
Why would I just let someone yank the blanket off of me?" And some other stuff that happened is that the girl who had become friends with, her and her boyfriend decided to go into the bathroom and have a fucking bath together. Just two of them sitting in the bath naked together. I'm like, could you not? And they were also being super lovey-dovey, right in front of me. Girl who's never had a date in her life and been told that I would probably never get a date.
Bullshit, but okay. Continue.
And then the same guy who had pulled the blanket off me and stole my spot, his girlfriend came and visited the room. I don't blame her for acting kind of adorable and cutesy because I've done it too. It's just she was a little annoying. Mm-hmm. But that's just probably me. Do you think she's had this budgie onesie? And all she was like, I'm a budgie. I'm like, okay, we get it, you're a budgie.
Okay, that's kind of cute though.
It was cute, yeah, I'll admit, but it did get annoying after a while. And after that I just I felt so how do I put it? I felt so out of place that whole time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Okay, so I have a full-on con horror story, which I've mentioned before in one of my videos. So several years ago, back when I was about 13, 14, 15, I can't remember which exactly I was, but I was still a young teen. I was working at a convention called NAF, which stands for Northern Anime Festival. This con happened to be taking place at the Durham College, which is in Oshawa. And we had two very special guests, Micah Solstad and
Micah Sulisad, I think?
Sulisad.
Something like that.
And then Todd Habercorn.
Habercorn.
And so I was actually Todd's handler. And by handler, I mean basically I just led him from one point to the other because I knew the map. I knew
you lead him around, take him to his panels and all that
stuff like that. So throughout the day, I'm spending a lot of one-on-one time with Todd, which I'm not gonna lie was freaking amazing. I loved it.
I didn't know her then, so this story is like, I love hearing it.
And so I'm walking down this one hallway, and I see this group of girls just kind of leaning over around a locker, because they were on a campus.
It was again at school,
and they're just kind of giving me this, like, dirty freaking look like they want to murder me. And so, like, Todd leans over, like, when we're walking, we're talking, and he, like, gives me a hug. And these girls look like they wanted fucking blood. And so I just continue on my way, doing my job. And I don't think anything of it until hours later, after Todd leaves. I'm on my way from one part of the campus to the other part of the campus, and I see these girls.
Uh-oh.
And they just start screaming at me, like, why do you get one-on-one time with Todd? Why do you get a hug? Why do you get, blah, 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 blah. And they start fucking chasing me.
So just put the Benny Hill theme in, like,
but, so I am, like, fucking mortified. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen if they catch me. So I'm, like, booking it across the campus. Like, they're screaming at me, like, we're gonna kill you. This isn't fair. Like, F you. Screw you. Todd's ours.
What amazes me is that there was no teacher to stop you from running in the halls.
Oh, this wasn't in the hall. I was outside booking it across campus.
Oh, okay.
I was freaking outside, like, booking it up around a hill through the parking lot. Anyway, so I spot another friend of mine, who was a very good friend of mine at the time, who was actually Micah's handler. And I see them, and I go fucking booking it to them. And I kind of, like, trip, and I smack, like, face first into, like, Micah's, like, stomach, and I'm just like, and like, Micah goes over and like, scolds the girls. And
okay, you never told me about that part.
Well, I didn't hear exactly what was happening word for word, because I was kind of hugging my friend, sobbing.
Well, yeah.
But he was very much like, you don't do that to people, that's rude, I don't care what your reason is, you do not threaten people, you do not chase people, get out of here before we call security.
Mm-hmm.
So I then see these girls just booking it up over the ravine, and Micah comes back like, all triumphant. And then I spent the rest of the day with Micah and my friend.
I just, what makes me funny, makes me laugh, is the fact that Micah had to go over and scold him and not his handler. And you didn't tell me about the scolding part. You just, like, ended it after you ran into Micah.
Sorry. Like I said, I don't remember what exactly was said. It was so long ago, and I was so scared at the time. But I'm guessing that's along the lines of what he said, because I remember them, like just their face going white and them taking off in the opposite direction, and then Micah coming back and comforting me. And then I'm pretty sure we just spent the rest of the day in the bar drinking pop.
Just partying.
Yeah, pretty much. It technically was a bar, but they weren't serving alcohol because it was it was just a building being used. It was originally the campus bar, but it was just being used for the purposes for the con, and we just, my friend and I and just Micah, just kind of sat there and, like, talked and stuff for the rest of the night. So I wish I had video and stuff of this. I do have photos of myself with Todd and photos of myself with Micah, who, when I'm actually editing the video, I'll put in here. And I also have a video of Todd doing some voice acting as Alan Walker from The Grey Man. So yeah, this is the most horrific thing that's ever happened to me at a con. I literally almost got mauled to death by Todd's fangirls, and then Micah had to save me.
We have to find all the pieces of the Innocents and destroy the Millennium Earl.
I'm like the only, like, that's the story that I told, that's the only, like, horror story. Like, I don't have any, like, creepy stalkers, like, con stories, like, creepy dude stories. I'm like, do I just get lucky, or am I just, like, what?
I don't know, but just...
Another story I have, it's, like, this one's just a funny one. That it didn't happen to me, technically, but I, like, witnessed what happened. So, this was, it was a few years ago, and I got the chance to meet Bryce Papenbrook at Fan Expo.
This was the first time you met him, right?
Yes, this is the first time I got to meet him. And so I'm, like, really excited, because he's one of my favorite voice actors, right? And I'm in his line, and I'm just chilling. The girl in front of me, who... She wasn't, like, diehard fan of him, but she knew of him, and she knew that he voiced Shatner, but she had seen the original French version.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, I just printed off some pictures and stuff. And so she goes up and she's meeting with him and talking with him and stuff. And I'm just looking at his pictures that you can pick from, right? Because you could get, like, you get one picture per whatever you paid for the autograph. Yeah. And I'm just there looking through the pictures. And she's talking to him. And I guess she asked him to do, like, a cat pun or something because of Chat Noir. And I guess he does it. And all I hear is a thud next to me on the ground. I look down and I'm like, whoa. She's just on the ground, like, oh, she almost fainted. And then Bryce is like, yes, I got someone to almost faint. Yeah. I
don't know if that's necessarily a good thing.
No, but he's like, she didn't faint. She was fine. She was just on the ground, like, kind of fangirling because of the cat pun thing. But he's like, yes.
That's kind of adorable.
And, like, another thing, when I was meeting with Bryce, when I was talking with him, I told him about, like, that I do live streaming, right? And that he had been doing live streaming on, I think the app's called Unlocked, I think? Mm-hmm. But he had his panel the day before. He was on live stream and I was watching it. And he, like, goes into the panel room and sits in the back of, like, the audience. No one notices except for, like, the people right in the back, right?
Yeah.
Nobody notices. And just his handler up at the front is talking. And then he actually gets up and they're like... And we were, like, reminiscing about that. It was funny.
So, I have something also funny from NAF. I wasn't there the next day. It was a 2-day event. It was, like, Saturday, Sunday. And for obvious reasons, because of what happened on the Saturday, I was not there on the Sunday.
I wonder why.
No idea. Anyways, so a friend of mine... We're not friends anymore, but we were really close at the time. Got to spend, along with Micah's handler, because Micah was there second day, Todd wasn't. And they have a video of Micah teaching them how to open Rana bottle pops.
Oh, the thing where you smack it? Yeah.
And one of them explodes, and Micah just turns to the camera and goes, "Welcome to Canada!" I'll have to see if I can find the clip.
Welcome to Canada.
I'll have to see if I can find the clip.
Is it on YouTube?
No, it was posted on the person's Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Like, I doubt I'll be able to find it, but...
Probably not.
But my friends told me about it, and then I saw the video. I'll have to see if I can find it. But it's just exploding everywhere, and he's just like, "Welcome to Canada!"
I'm trying to think if I have any other stories.
I was gonna say, not really a horror, but it was kind of a horror. I was doing a photo shoot with a friend, and I fell down a flight of stairs backwards. I was doing the shoot with Erica.
When was this?
CampusCon?
Okay, that was probably just before I met you guys. Because I know you and Erica knew each other before me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was doing...
Rhea and Connor, I think, Jay introduced me to you.
Yeah. But, so I was, like, doing, like, a photo shoot with her. And so, like, the stairs are here, and then there's, like, another set of stairs going up here. Mm. Erica was, like, over here lying down on, like, a bench, and I was on top of the railing for the other stairs. And it wasn't really that high. It was, like, maybe only 2-3 feet. Anyways, I lost my footing, and I went boom, 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 boom down the stairs.
I have, like, so many falling down the stairs story, but none of them are at a con. Oh, you know what story I can talk about? This happened to us. So... During this...
Are you talking about the Uber incident?
No, not that. We'll get to that. Because you tell that better than I do. But no, this happened in our hotel room. Falling off the bed incident.
Oh.
So, a friend of ours had to go to the hospital, sadly, for reasons that I won't get into because it's personal, but the three of us had to... One of us went with her to the hospital. The other three of us, so me, her, and another friend, stayed at the hotel just because they only could take one person with her, right?
Yeah.
So, we were just laying on the bed watching, I think it was bloopers from Blue Exorcist or something.
Yeah.
On one of our phones. And we're all, like, piled onto this queen bed. And a queen bed is made for 2 people, not 3. Especially with, like, a slightly bigger girl and 2, like, a mid-size and then a small one, right?
No, I'd already gained weight at that point.
Whatever.
We were
you
all,
know what I mean.
We were all relatively thick girls.
Anyways. We're all laying on the bed. I'm, like, kind of, like, have one leg off, just, like, supporting myself so I don't fall. And then you're the one who fell. You're just, like, slowly falling, and then it's, like, we're just watching. Onto the ground, and we both look over, like, are you okay? And our other friend's laughing. You're laughing. I'm just, like... and then proceeded to laugh.
Okay, so,
Okay, you tell the...
I guess this is kind of a horror story.
Kind of. Our friend almost lost money, that's the thing. I don't even know if she got the money back.
I think she got it back. So, early January, February of last year. Clearly not this year, because shit.
Was it 2019?
Yeah, it was 2019. 2019, Anime
I've been inside too long.
Anime Shigatsu.
I know it was Anime Shogatsu, I just couldn't remember what year it was.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
Pretty sure it's 2019.
Continue.
Anyways, so we went about our day. My cosplay exploded on me. Do you remember
that's right.
my Organizers 13?
Oh, that's right, it ripped.
I was not a specific character, but I had
dressed for
the Organization 13 cloak from Kingdom Hearts, and then I had the
Keyblade.
Oblivion Keyblade. And so my thing just kind of exploded.
Yeah, like it ripped all down the side.
From my elbow, like all elbow, armpit. It just went like and there's just pieces of like fake leather all over the floor. Yeah.
Leather.
Anyways, back on story at hand. So we're at the con, several hours go by.
And we're all ready to get going home. Get home. Yeah.
So a mutual friend of ours, who was the one on the bed with us, laughing at
the
us,
one laughing her ass off,
is the only one that has like an Uber app set up on her phone.
Yeah, because I didn't have it set up at the time.
And we were also out in Toronto.
Yeah.
So she gets us an Uber, and so we're waiting outside, and like 10 minutes passed, 20 minutes passed, 30 minutes passed.
Like, way longer than they said the Uber was supposed to arrive.
So she checks the app, and it says that it's here. So we are, like, the group of us, I should also add, it's freezing cold. We have, like...
It's like the end of January, but it's still, like, freezing out.
It was still snowing.
Yeah, there was literally snow everywhere.
So
Canada.
We're walking up and down through the parking lot. We don't see it. And then she gets a notification on our friend gets a notification on her phone saying, picked up. And we're like,
excuse me?
We don't know who the fuck they picked up, but it was not us. So at this point, we're like having like a mini freak out because we ordered a van and I'm pretty sure there was
like 5 of us.
Yeah, 5 of us. So we ordered a van.
Because there was like 5 or 6 of us.
Yeah, but then it was
still a lot of money for an Uber.
It was also because I'm just saying like...
Because they had to take us all the way over to Union.
Yeah. So we're, like, freaking out, trying to, like, what do we do? We did eventually call another Uber, and that Uber did show up.
Yeah.
But our then friend who ordered the Uber then spent the next couple of weeks fighting with Uber to get her money back, trying to prove that we were not the ones in the van.
Because another bit of context was that we had said the address, right? Like, right in front of the little culture center. And they were like down the ramp and like halfway up the block basically where they were supposedly picking us up,
which was like a good 10-15 minutes walk from where we were.
I don't think it was that far, but they were like out of the way of where we could get to.
It was really far because they were like over close to the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, it took like 10-15 minutes to get to the bank.
Yeah, they were like quite out of the way of where we were. We mentioned where we were, so it was a lot of BS. It was like, we're over here, my dude. We're now way over there. Not much else happens to us. We're like pretty like we don't have any like creepy dudes like stalking us trying to take our pictures. Nope.
Not at cons, at least.
Yeah, not at cons.
Another mutual friend of ours got a bunch of stuff stolen, but that's not really a story to tell. So, I think it was my first day, and we were down in the pool area. And do you remember the creepy guy? The guy who was, like, yelling at us to get out of the pool, and he was just, like, giving us, like, this stink eye.
Okay, I remember. So, fuck, that's a while ago. So, it wasn't necessarily the creepy guy telling us to... It was the pool dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it was right at the closing time for the pool, right? And we're like, okay, cool, we're getting out. Like, he came to tell us to get out. The thing that bothered us is that he was kind of rushing us. Like, these, like, 3 or 4 girls just in their swimsuits trying to, like, dry off and put our shoes on.
Yeah, and
he's kind of just, like, rushing us.
And he was watching us.
Like, a little creepy about that, but, like, he was just... I didn't like the fact that he was rushing us. Because it's like, the fucking floor is wet. Do you want us to fall? And then we sue you for making us fall because you rushed us?
And then, I can't remember what con it was, but it was... Like, it was, I can't remember what year it was, but it was, like, dark and stormy outside. And we literally get into a building. The second we get into the building, kaboom!
Oh, yeah. That was last year. When we were staying at the Marriott.
Do you remember we literally get inside? Like, literally, like, 2 or 3 minutes after we get inside, kaboom! Like, and then a friend of ours was outside in it, too, and had, like, a bunch of manga that got soaking wet.
The full story is that we had just gotten back because we had tried to find a place for dinner, but we couldn't. Mm-hmm. So we ended up ordering back at our hotel or something, but
yeah.
We get into, like, the Sheraton, I think it was, which was, like, the hotel that the shuttle bus stops at, and we had to walk all the rest of the way. So we got to the Sheraton, we get inside, and then we all look outside and it's like, Any, like, 5 seconds earlier, it would have been soaked, wouldn't it? Mm-hmm. And then I think the other thing that happened during that, you broke my bag.
Yes!
So I'd gotten this, like, Ida bag off of, like, Wish or something, so yeah, it's crappy already, right? But it was hanging in pretty well until Yvonne here tried to open it.
She asked me to open and or close her bag, and then, from her point of view, all she did is clink, oopsie.
I'm just, like, standing, because it's on my back, and she's trying to close it for me, and all I hear is, like, and I'm like, the fuck was that? And you just hold up the broken zipper, and it's like,
And then literally, like, an hour or two later, or the next day or something.
It was the next day when we went to the dealer's. So he got me a new bag, which is sitting over there.
Same thing. The very first con I went to, there was a giant protest. Not con, but Anime North.
Right.
There was a giant freaking protest.
That happened 2 years in a row, mind you.
Mm-hmm. So, my friends were just chilling out over a different area. There was a giant protest going on, like, a block away. And I'm like, I'm gonna go check this shit out.
It wasn't even a block away. It was literally on the premises. It was because...
They technically had to say it was a block away because they weren't technically on the...
No, they were in, like, the what is it?
They were in, like, an in-between area that wasn't technically
so the way
con.
It's, like, the way the con is arranged is that there's the Congress Center, the parking lot area, then there's, like, grass, and then there's, like, these drive spots where you drive in to get into the back parking, and all the protesters were standing on the road part, basically, like the part where the cars drive, which is technically not on the premises, but still on the premises.
And if you ask them, and they're like, no, we were, like, a block away, we weren't anywhere near it, sort of deal. It's basically bullshit. Anyways, so I go over to check it out, and just like talked with a bunch of people because I didn't know what was going on at the time.
Because I think you were either on your own or with one of our other friends. Cause
I wandered off on my own for a bit.
Yeah, for a tiny bit. And I was with another friend. We were in the dealer's hall when this was happening.
So, like, I'm out in this protest, and there's, like, almost like a freaking mosh pit of people just yelling and screaming. And there's... I have a clip of this. I will show the clip. And so there's, like, these protesters. It's like, cosplay makes you gay. Jesus hates cosplay.
Or something like that.
And I'm
remember the guy cosplaying Jesus? Yeah. There was a guy cosplaying Jesus. And he's like, oh, I love... like anime, and then I think a bunch of people started chanting hentai, 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 or something like that.
Anyway, so like there were these people freaking out. This one like one of the protesters is spitting at people, almost hits me.
Okay, that I didn't know about. I just knew about the people protesting with people shouting, "We love hentai with Jesus."
And so like this huge thing breaks out. Police show up.
Right.
Police show up and break it up. And it's like, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's losing their rights to protest, but we can't if things get physical. Can we, like, separate and make a line? And for some reason, when the police say, can we make a line, like, half the people in the protest start doing, oh, it's from my face. Anyways, so there's a whole bunch of people, and we're just doing caramel dancing in protest to the fucking police, to these, like, fucking protesters.
I'm honestly glad I wasn't there. Because I would have been like, oh god, this is so cringy.
Excuse me?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
My waifu is real. How about God?
And then, so later on that day, I was talking with another friend who literally got pushed over and hit with a sign by one of the protesters.
Oh no!
Boo boo!
That was Brian!
That was Boo Boo!
No!
He says he doesn't know if it was an accident or not, but he was walking by and he got hit by a sign and like literally pushed over and he fell on the ground.
Oh no! I didn't know about that.
You didn't know?
No, you didn't tell me. Me and Erica walked out like halfway after like everyone's done like chanting head tie with Jesus. And we just see the posters and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
But yeah, Boo Boo got like pushed to the ground. Boo Boo's a friend of ours.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like he's on like the freaking ground.
No, they're so sad. Yeah. Oh, you would know if I was there. I would not be having that. I'd be like, bitch.
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure other people did some. He didn't go into detail about what happened after that. I'm hearing the story secondhand from you. Like I wasn't there when it happened. He told me the aftermath, and he's like, I don't know if it was intentional or not. It's like, sweetie, it was most likely intentional.
Oh, I just thought of another thing that happened to me at a con. So, this was a good few years ago. At Fan Expo, once again, because I think Fan Expo is the main con that I usually go to. But, so I remember I was going to see Vic Mignogna. Now, I know there's people out there who don't like him. I personally like him. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but whatever.
I like him.
Yeah, so I was in line to see him because our friend Erica really admires him. And she wanted me to show him a tattoo that she had did of,
oh, this was
Edward.
The Edward
Yeah,
one
the Edward
that
tattoo that
she
she
spent
did.
like 4 hours drawing on her arm.
With makeup. So, I'm in line and I start chatting with these girls in front of me, right? And was I in line? I may have been in line for someone else because I remember these girls not liking Vic.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started chatting with them. I was in line for somebody. I can't remember who. But I started chatting with these girls and we start talking about voice actors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they mentioned that they don't like Vic. Which, cool, fine. Not everybody likes the same actors, right? But they kept telling me about the rumors about him. Like, that he's done shit and stuff. I'm like, you know that he's admitted that it's not true. I remember, it was when he had gotten cast as Rin from Free. And they were saying that he's admitted that he's homophobic and shit. And I'm like, no. He has never once said that he's homophobic. And I'm pretty sure if he actually was, he wouldn't have agreed to the role.
And even if he was, it's not like he's acted out on it. It's not like he's like anti-gay or anything. Even if he is, he's keeping it to himself. And everybody has the right to their own opinions and their own feelings. Mm-hmm. Just don't try to project them on other people.
Like, this girl was just like so set on that he was homophobic and that blah 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 blah. I'm like, stop trying to change my beliefs. I've never once heard that he admitted that he was homophobic. Mm-hmm. And again, if he really did feel uncomfortable about playing Rin, he wouldn't have played Rin. He would have turned down the role. Nor would he have auditioned for it.
Exactly.
And most of the time, even if people are homophobic, it's a job. Like, I'm positive he's not. Like, again, he wouldn't have done a lot of voice roles if he was homophobic.
Even if he is, he hasn't.
He's not hurting anybody.
Yeah, like, it's just speculation. I'm pretty sure if he was actually homophobic, there would be something online about him, like, actually talking about it or something, not just rumors.
Like, maturely talking about it, yeah. But that just left a sour taste in my mouth. I'm like, I don't want to stand in line with these girls anymore, because they're just kind of being rude.
So, I'm pretty sure this was at... God, what con was it? The one with throwing controllers.
Oh, Con Bravo.
Con Bravo. So we're at Con Bravo. This is my very first time
Mine too.
even hearing about, I can't remember what it's called, something nerd throwing controllers.
Throwing controllers with the runaway guys.
Yeah, one of my guys. Two friends of ours, not two friend of ours. We're really big fans. So
I think it's more like Fox or whatever.
Yeah, Fox.
She's more of a fan of them.
Anyways, so we end up going to this, and this place is packed. I have full footage of this.
Oh, I remember the story.
And so, because it was really, really packed, I was starting to have anxiety and everything. Starting to get a little bit claustrophobic.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked if I could switch seats with the guy like next to us who was sitting in an aisle. And so, yeah, we switched. And so I'm just trying to like mind my own business. And there's this, I'm not exactly sure of their gender.
There's just
male,
the person
female.
behind her.
Anyways, like, you could tell they were younger.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole time they're yelling and screaming and kicking the back of my seat. And they're trying to record and they're constantly okay, so I'm the penguin and the person's going like to the top of my head trying to like get me to like sit down or whatever. I'm already sitting and this person is just like kicking the back of my chair and they're yelling and they're screaming and they're like, when I get up there I'm gonna do this and this and oh my god, I'm their biggest fan. And she's it was
more of like the screaming was more like a lot of people are chatting and talking because it's like a huge room with like 1,000 people almost, right? It was more along the lines that you could hear it, like, in your vicinity, the kind of screaming, so it was loud for you, but, like, it wasn't picked up by your nose.
No.
However...
It was just more along the lines that she was physically hitting me.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her to stop. And, like, I can't remember who it was, but it was a friend of Connor's and Ree's friend.
It was one of their friends.
Yeah.
Who, had to...
The one that was cosplaying from Fire Emblem. That they actually physically turned around and had to tell this, like, person to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of their friends was like, oh, well, she's only blah, blah. I think it was a she. I honestly can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm not trying to stick a gender.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyways. And, like, their friend's like, oh, blah, 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 well, they're young, and they have ADHD.
Doesn't give them the right to hit people.
I'm like, I have ADHD. And then, same thing that was happening at the same panel. You tell about the rude guy.
So, I like talking about this rude guy, even though we don't talk about him much, but I love talking about this guy. So, we're all on the panel. You're sitting over with, because we were in this long line, because there was, like, a bunch of us. Mm-hmm. So, you're off here, I'm here, and then there's our friend Connor and Ray. We're all chilling, just watching, enjoying the panel, and when people, like, are getting asked questions or anything like that, there's this one guy. I don't know if he has any issues or anything that caused him to be like this, but, like, every time he didn't get picked or something, he was like, come on, like, fuck or whatever, like, just, like, being obnoxiously, purposely loud.
And I think he was legit swearing, too.
Like, swearing, like, there's probably, like, young kids, because it's Chugga Conroy, Proton John, and, like, Messiah and Ellen, like, one other person I can't remember. Mm-hmm. But, so, like, they do content for, like, all ages, right? So kids included.
Yeah.
And this guy is just, like, getting, like, overly upset that he doesn't get picked or anything to go up and, like, answer questions. And he's, like, cracking some kind of jokes that just, like, aren't needed. Like, over-excelling the jokes, like, that Chugga or anybody of them made. Mm-hmm. And it was, like, I'm, like, glancing over towards, like, where the guy's coming from, like, can this guy stop? And we're all trying to enjoy the panel, like, just stop, dude, we get it, you're upset.
It actually got to the point that other people in the audience were like, can you stop?
Yeah, there was people, like, I faintly heard it, there was people, like, telling him to stop.
And he said, once again, it just, he was intentionally being obnoxious and rude. Mm-hmm. Like, we're all here to have fun. I get it. They really wanted to go up. They didn't get picked. So did over 1,000 other people. Mm-hmm. Like, suck it up,
like, there was, like, probably, like, a good, like, 500 chairs in the room, and they were almost all full.
They were all full. There was even people sitting and standing in the aisles and standing at the back and leaning against the wall. Like, this place was over full.
Mm-hmm. Like, I'm pretty sure it got capped after a bit. But, like, this guy's just, like, yelling and getting, upset because he doesn't get picked or or anything like that. And I'm like, good. There's like 500 plus people in here. Not everybody's gonna get lucky and get their number picked.
Another interesting. I just realized we didn't think we had that many con stories, and now we actually really do.
Mm-hmm.
So this was several years ago at a very, very small con. It's literally just Oshawa Comic Con. The Dance Mom. Okay.
I don't remember this.
I don't know. Maybe you went there.
I don't know.
Anyway,
Just tell it.
so very small local cons. Used to be done at I can't remember the intersections, but
the intersection doesn't really matter.
it was something in Harmony.
It was something in our city,
Anyway,
basically.
so what it was a rec center next to a church.
It's a little community center.
Yeah, a
like
little
the
community
mini
center
one.
that had a dance studio in the basement.
I remember this now. Okay, now I remember it. I don't think I was there for this, but I remember it.
And so a lot of the times, a group of friends and I and everything, we'd go to the basement.
It's free for people to be down there.
Yeah, the bathrooms are down there.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, so we go down there because one, it's quieter, it's cooler, not a lot of people are down there, blah, blah, blah.
There's less scary tiny children.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so we're down, like, in the area. Minding our own business. Yes, we're talking, we're laughing, but, like, we're not being obnoxious.
No.
And the door to this dance studio opens, and I have nothing against voluptuous women, but this woman walked out easily 500 pounds wearing like a medium-sized tube top. She literally looked like a tube of toothpaste exploding. Like, I really hate saying that because it is so mean, it is so sexist, like, I hate it. But I don't know how else to
explain the woman.
This woman. And she comes legit waddling over, and it's like, how dare you? You have no right to be here. Like, major entitled mother. Like, I pay for my daughter to come here. You have no right to be here. You guys all gotta shut up and get out of here before I tell people, like, blah, blah, blah. And this lady is just going off on us. And, like, one friend of mine starts having, like, a panic attack.
Yeah, our one friend suffers from these.
And so, like, we end up leaving. And I'm pretty sure the dance rehearsals were only like another half hour, 40 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
So we come back down after after it's officially done. And this lady comes out and is like talking and yelling at us again, like, how dare you come back here? You have no right to be here, blah, blah, blah. So she grabs her stuff and she gets up and leaves. And then, who I believe is her daughter, comes up. Adorable little girl.
Did
like,
she apologize?
Yes.
Oh,
bright
okay.
blue eyes, blonde hair, like down to her waist. And she's like, I'm really sorry for my mom's behavior. She gets kind of like psycho when it comes to dance moms.
Oh, you know the
like,
girl's gonna grow up to be a good person.
Like this little girl couldn't have been older than like 9-10.
Oh my god.
Comes over, like, very soft-spoken, very polite, like, hi guys, I'm so sorry. Like, she gets, like, really into it. This isn't the first time this has happened, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Please forgive her. I am so sorry. Like, myself and the other girls, like, the other dancers talked about it. You guys haven't done anything wrong. So this is literally, like, a child.
Having to apologize
for an entitled mother.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, we still go to small cons at this event. We have not seen the lady since, so we don't know what happened.
Who knows?
But,
it's possible there was complaints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but just, I cannot get the image of just these doors flying open, and this, like, you could just sense the bad energy from her.
Mm-hmm.
Like, our one friend, I hold nothing against her for it, but is very, very sensitive to people's confrontation and other people's emotions. Mm-hmm. Like, if she senses somebody's angry, she will get upset. Mm-hmm. And just picturing this, like, just this person just stomping towards you and just, like, screaming, and, like, she's swearing, and, like, some other friends of ours, we had, like, some, like, male friends that were there with us that were basically protecting us, like, smaller girls who were really intimidated, And they're like, you have no right, like, our friends are like, you have no right to speak to us like that. If you have an issue, yes, you can confront us, but don't just come at us out of nowhere and start swearing and screaming at us. Like, we can all act like adults here, even though I'm pretty sure we weren't adults at the time, we were teenagers. And it just...
Okay, so at the same, like, kind of, like, it's the same location that happened with the dance mom. And I occasionally like to record, like, little clips for vlogs I do, right? And I'm recording one, and I'm just recording it, and I'm recording, like, one of our old ex-friends we don't really talk to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just doing that, I'm recording, like, just funny moments, like, just random shit. And then the friend, who was by Tristan, comes up behind me, unbeknownst to me, comes up behind me, and he's doing something. I don't know if he's just, like, being funny, but he got into my bubble, he was right at my ear, and I am very sensitive to ASMR stuff, so I hate people being right near my ear.
You just, like, it was like just an automatic reaction.
So, I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, no, and I'm like,
You just whip around and fucking slap him.
I, like, smack him in the face. I felt bad afterwards, but I'm like, no!
Oh my god, so that just reminded me of something else. So, same location, same basement.
That's happened at these cons.
The power goes out, and our friend who is the one who is very sensitive, like, once again, nothing against her, I love her to pieces, but is very, like, sensitive and emotional about stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the power goes out, she fucking freaks out, books it, like, it's so dark we can't see in front of her face. She fucking smashes right into me, like, throws me to the fucking wall, books it up the door and up the stairs to get out of the darkness.
You're forgetting some context, the reason why she books it. Because we were trying to film something spooky because Tristan, the same guy, was dressed as Pyramid Head.
Pyramid Head, yes.
So we were filming it, and because I don't think Erica was fully aware of
what we were doing,
and we just turned the lights off, and then so he starts acting like all creepy, like Pyramid Head. She gets scared, runs down the hall.
Clearly didn't see me, smacks into me.
She
like, she's not, like, a big girl, but she is strong when she wants to be. I get thrown into the fucking wall, and I'll just hear click, 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 click of her high heels, and she's, like, fucking booking it down the hallway. I feel so bad for laughing. Like, we talked to her about this after the fact. She's okay. She had a good laugh about it, too. And it was like, oh, that was you I smacked into?
I'm just, because there's a couch down there, I'm just chilling on the couch, like, just like, what just happened?
It's so dark. Oh, you hear it. Like, you don't see what's happening. Just everybody just hears screaming and crashing and crying.
Click, 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 click,
click, click, click.
She, like, pushed by you and Pyramid Head, dude.
Past Tristan, yeah. Just, like, books it up the fucking... Oh, God. Kind of happened to me, kind of happened to an ex-friend of ours. There was this guy who would show up at cons, yell at us, Ryan.
Okay.
He would yell at us, make fun of us, call us weebs, call us otakus. Like, this guy shows up to a con, decked out in just happens to be Metal Pony stuff, and then mocks us for liking Pokemon, or, you know, Dragon Ball Z, or whatever. And so, like, this guy just kind of shows up and just kind of forces himself into our group. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why, but he had, like, the biggest freaking crush on me. And he was constantly trying to blackmail me into going on a date with him.
Is this the same guy who said he's had firearms on him?
No.
Okay, so there's another guy.
And that didn't happen at a con. That happened at a picnic.
Okay.
Wait, now we have to do, like, that story, too, because people are going to be like, what about a gun?
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. I know who the guy you're talking about. Okay.
Anyways, so this guy was very rude. He broke a prop of mine. Like, he would just grab your stuff, run off with it, break it, and then just throw it in the trash and pretend he didn't know about it. So, there's 2 incidents with them. One was one involving me. I was dressed up as Harley Quinn. Not a specific version of Harley Quinn.
This was definitely before we met.
Yeah. This was back when I was dating fuckhead number 2.
We don't need to get into that.
Anyways, so it was like an inflatable squeaky hammer. Mm-hmm. He comes up, grabs it, rips it, pops it. I'm like, you can't just grab people's stuff without permission. He goes, oh, that's lame. He throws it at me and walks away.
Well, that's just rude.
And then the other one was a friend of ours had, I can't remember what sword it was exactly, but it was one of the swords from the anime called Bleach.
Oh, yeah, those katanas.
Yep. And so he's playing with it without permission, snaps it in fucking half, throws it in the corner, and books it.
Mm-hmm.
I then had to chase this fucker down, drag him back into the con, and make him admit and apologize to a friend of his at the time for breaking their props.
Mm-hmm.
The then, person running the con actually came over and lectured him. It's like, you can't touch people's props. Yes, it might just be a stupid sword to you, but to these people spend...
It's time, effort, and
yeah,
money.
people spend days making, days, weeks, months, even years making props. Hundreds of thousands of dollars go into people's costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Hours, sweat, blood, tears. You can't just go around grabbing people's stuff, breaking it, and then running.
Mm-hmm. So, for context about the other guy that we mentioned, who actually had firearms on him, so this isn't necessarily at a con, but it still involves cosplay, so I guess just call the video, Cosplay Con Stories.
Yeah.
So, we occasionally would have, these picnics that we'd go to. There's these cosplay picnics where we just all meet up and hang out, right? I don't remember the guy's name. Do you remember his name?
Greg?
Okay. Yeah, we are not going to be putting in, any other name because we don't like this guy. We will call him out. We will call out these people. I didn't call out the other people in my first story because I don't want to... They aren't that bad.
Yeah.
They meant well.
But
this guy, he would just, show up to these... I'm pretty sure he was never invited to these picnics.
no, he actually had a band on him. He was banned from the group. The group leaders in, our little, group, I keep saying the word group, actually restricted him, banned him. We don't know how he found out about the new ones. We moved locations, we changed time, we did everything in our power to get away from him.
And he still found out about it.
Because he would show up, he would
claim that he had, guns and stuff,
on him.
Real
Physically on him, yes.
Mm-hmm.
He would...
I can't remember, did he actually show that he had one at one point? I can't remember.
He kind of flashed something that was on his hip.
Okay.
We don't know if it was a prop or real.
But that's the basic reason he got banned.
We just know he said it was real. And so not only that, he would show up, he would, sexually ogle the girls, make a lot of sexual comments.
Mm-hmm.
He would bitch out the guys.
He criticized me for liking grape pop.
Yeah, you got into, a huge argument over the fact that you,
we were sitting at the picnic table that was there, and he's just, I'm just mentioning, I don't know how we got on the topic of, pop flavors, but I'm like, oh, I like grape pop, and he's like, it's stupid, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, but don't tell me that my opinion's stupid.
So, after the fact that he mentioned he had a real gun, and he flashed something on his hip, in a holster, really quick. I saw it, our friend Tristan, the one who was Pyramid Head, who was also the one that stood up to the con mom for several, years prior, was also there.
Mm-hmm.
He saw it too. And Tristan is a big guy, probably 6'1", 6'2".
Mm-hmm. He's pretty cute too.
Yeah, he actually is. He gets up and just, instantly gets in between this guy and, the rest of us. And they're not physically going at it, but, verbally, they are, going at it. And we end up going over and talking to Joe and Ash, who are the leaders and, the sub-leader. Mm-hmm. And we end up, telling Joe about this. So Joe comes over and Ash comes over, and they, de-escalate the thing, and the guy leaves.
Mm-hmm.
A few months later, at another event, the guy shows up again.
Yeah, after they had, because I started going to the picnics at the new location.
Yeah.
Jay, our old friend Jay had told us about it. And I was told me about it. I was like, cool. And that's when I met you.
Yep. And so this guy shows up. At the time that he shows up, it's only myself, Megan, Domenica, our friend Erica, and a couple others. Mm-hmm. Literally all girls. Our friend Matt wasn't there, our friend Tristan wasn't there, none of the guys in that group were there. Mm-hmm. And so this guy shows up, he's following us. We are trying desperately to just try and get away without making it look like we're trying to get away. Mm-hmm. And we end up calling our mutual friend, and then we end up calling Joe.
We're get the fuck over here.
And
we're know who's here.
It's we don't know what to do. He's here once again. He's We didn't see anything, but once again, he's talking about having weapons, and he was talking about how he quote-unquote did military training as a sniper, and that he could shoot us all down before we even knew what hit us. So we are freaking out, like, I'm crying, Megan's trying to hold it back, our friend Erica is just sobbing. I'm pretty sure Kira might have been there with us, I can't remember who else.
It's been a while.
Anyway.
I barely remember being there.
So, so Joe comes and tries to, like, eventually shows up, de-escalates it, and she says to us that if he shows up again, call the cops. So, a few weeks later, at another one, guess who's there?
Okay.
So...
Did you end up calling the cops?
We called the cops.
I was not present for that one.
We
I
called
think
the
I wasn't
cops.
feeling well.
We don't know what happened after that. After the police showed up, we're like, we want nothing to do with this. Like, we already told them our side of the story, and we just left.
Mm-hmm.
We never saw the guy since.
Thankfully.
Like I said, we don't know if it was a real gun. We don't know. Like, he was always talking about how he had guns on him, how he had, like, a knife on him. He was, like, very sexually degrading.
I was honestly tempted to get a restraining order.
Mm-hmm. Like, it was summer, we got popsicles, and he like, said to, like, some of the girls, like, I wonder what else you guys can do with that mouth. Or I've got something else you can suck on.
I don't think I've been there for any of the times where he's done that, because I don't remember... Because I've just heard the stories about the sexual harassment.
I don't remember, were you there the time I was wearing my brown kimono?
I think so, but
okay, because...
I might have been off doing photos with somebody.
Yeah, because, like, Jay...
I think I might have been doing photos with Jay.
No, Jay was with me when this happened.
Okay, then I might have been just off doing something.
Yeah.
I do not...
It was somebody
I've never
else.
been victim to any of the sexual harassment.
I can't remember, but he was there, I was there, I know Jay was there, somebody else was with us, and we were actually walking back from the corner store because a group of us went to go purchase the popsicles, and I decided to have mine on the way back, and he's making, like, all these sexual gestures and comments.
Okay, then I was still at the park because you guys went to go get popsicles and shit.
And then, like, when we got back, we started handing them out, he started, like, making references to, like, a bunch of other people, too. Mm-hmm. And, like I said, we don't know what, after, like, the fourth or fifth time this guy showed up, we did end up calling the cops. We felt very threatened. Like,
we're all just scared.
We don't, like, we're not like, oh my god, we're just gonna call the cops and the guy, no. Like,
no.
we had tried talking to him. We tried having, like, the, like, go-to people in our group talk to him. He was banned from the site, like, group. He was actually on a banned list. And, like, some of us were thinking about even getting restraining orders against the guy, because every time he would show up, he would start threatening us and yelling at us and making fun of us. Now, like I said, so we ended up calling the police. We gave our side of the statement. The police were like, okay, we don't need anything else. And we're like, okay, bye. And I'm pretty sure we went for sushi.
Yeah, we always go for sushi. Oh, it always ends in sushi. But I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah.
This is a really long video.
Yeah, about an hour.
Something like that.
So, yeah, this has been cosplay, just event horror stories and or funny stories. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this has been CrossWolf. This has been Domenica. Bye!